Okay. Yes. Turns out that hello, this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster. It turns out you are watching. I guess this is the beginning of tomorrow, the beginning of AdamaCon2, uh, which is not really a thing. It's just me chatting, doing shooting the shit chat. And tonight, yeah, we have nothing really planned for big news except for we already did the after party for the location, so. This will go up on the On Location Cats channel, which is the On Location channel. The channel where if they were going to do any On Location magazine, put it on that channel. Unfortunately, we can't currently do that. How would we do that? Remember years ago when we did the magazine and the audio programs and stuff that were not on the radio. They were just in-house. And the magazines and the storybooks. Yeah, we are going to do it, but it's going to have to be heavily changed. But yeah, we can't air blogs about that process, that writing process. But we can't air blogs about because it's not a TV show. We thought it kind of seemed like one. When we were growing up, it seemed like a TV show. But it isn't really. So this is just a little update, having just talked to Mark's Cards just about a half an hour ago. And Mark Cards, who was the co-producer of the shows here, he wanted to make sure that we did not, if we're going to do it on location, that we do not actually use real names and places that actually exist, thus making the autobiographical thing a biography, more or less, and fictionalizing it to the point that it's almost a fictional adventures, which we've already done. Which is probably better anyway, because when we think about it, because we don't want to get in trouble, even if there isn't anything suggestive. I mean, even if it's PG, if somebody looks at it's PG-13, but anybody looks at it, they might be like, well, it's not TV, but we think of it as TV, so it would be well, what would be G-rated as a story? And it would be like young adult fiction, I guess, rated teen fiction. College age one would be college fiction, but it's really pretty tame too. Stuff like so you would change stuff. You couldn't directly say Jung Swan. You couldn't directly say, although you could change it just slightly. You couldn't directly say it. Things that were happening in the self class were literally the self class, and it was weird. That might be a little off. Of course, you can't really, that kind of thing. You can't say, well, there was a teacher that became a perv. Can't do that, because then you'd have to there would be too many questions, and a couple of them did. But you can't have too many questions. So just leave that out. The articles at the end, there's articles and things. I decided on that one. Said we should probably leave the editorial articles out of the end because they don't make any sense in the story. If you're why would there be articles based on the story that exists? This was also a thing that was discussed earlier with an actual published author who said something similar. Ken Reed. He said something similar from the church. He was doing a book, and he said he had changed the names around because it was based loosely on something. He'd changed the names around. So it came from two different sources. So, change the names around because they're, it is possible that some of the bullies from high school might still exist, and some of the ones from college might still exist, and they might be upset if they went back and read. This guy was a jerk or something, and they might be like, hey, I didn't really say that. Even if they did, they would say, oh, I didn't really say that. Oh. But if we change the names, they can't say anything. It's not them. Yeah. So, and this would be an opportunity for this on location story, on location at Pine Hill and on location at Evergreen, and in Jung Swan, to include that series again in some kind of printed form, but also to make it fictional adventures in a way by changing a lot of the names around to make it sort of match the Cillian saga. So is it really a Cillian story? that's set on Cillian Earth. That's not. That's kind of related to the other stories. It kind of has similar characters with similar names, but it's on location. But it's just thinly veiled as this other thing, just to hide the fact that it's really on location. And then they're just uh, uh, changing it to a sort of a biography instead of an autobiography, making certain events happen differently than they did. Yeah, the articles where you riff on certain people. Yeah, you kind of have to make those people something else, or if they riff on you, something else. Just because, the articles. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not a TV show for one thing. It's going to be printed out there, different from the on locations of the past that were printed verbatim. It's different from that because they've changed things around. This is the planning stages. This is a thing that literally just started up again at the end of the All Transformers Mush. It's also kind of one of the reasons why most of All Transformers Mush also was a lot of the story elements were changed as we went. We sort of changed the dialogue around because it's conceivable that one or two of those authors might say, hey, that was my stuff. I didn't want you to put that up as an episode. It could happen. I didn't want you to do that. I don't know who you are. Why would you do that? So if we change it to an extent and just give them a byline, say we're not paying anybody, or we're not getting paid, they might say, well, it doesn't matter because they changed it so much. It's not the story. They just use the title, basically, and everything else is different. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so they might just say, oh, there's a little font title. The pervasive internet being what it is. We have on location and on location at Pine Hill and on location at Evergreen in early editing stages and just completed chapter blocks for the third one, which means that I've not looked over it for content and I've not looked over it for spelling. I just looked over the chapter blocks of On Location 2, parts 1 and part 2. I haven't actually gotten into the spelling and grammar and things like that at all, so I don't know what it's going to be like. You want to change you don't want to make it literally be an expose of people. It isn't really supposed to be anyway. It's not a diary, it's a journal. Even the dialogue, as was pointed out by Mark's Cards, he said the dialogue isn't even what we said anyway. So it's just your interpretation of what we said. It's sort of like how they had events and stories in there that were not out there. Anyway, so that's kind of what I'm rambling about, and that's On Location, and that is all for evening on that. You haven't seen any of it, so you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's going to be more like the fictional adventures, more like the Cillian realms. So then it is On Location, which is to say the name has been going to be changed. Some of it maybe, we may go through for content and go like, oh, we can't include a lot of this. I don't know. They are long, so it could happen. Anyway, that's the end for now. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and Kitty Key as well. Kitty Key, you see. This belt has been sitting around for a year on the shelf, and I've decided that this evening, on the April 29th, Dad Day, that I'm going to give myself this Fifth Dawn Ronin belt, because why not? I have the other one. I have this one here. I just put on this one, which is the Fourth Dawn Kal Kat show belt. My head can be cut off while I put this on. From last year, 2019. It's 2021, so it's 2 years later, technically. Well, it's a year and a half later. I'm going to put on this one first, and then on the other one. Okay. See, this belt said that I was a I'm Kal Kat Brown, honorary master of Pet Cat Dough. Pet Cat Dough. 11 years of Kal Kat show. 11 years, martial sportist, 4th Dan. We're in the 13th season, so this is 11th season. It's 2 years ago. So now we're receiving the belt, officially the Ronan belt. Okay. Yes. Let's open the belt. Yeah. Now this is a MMA belt, similar to those, exactly like the kind worn at West Coast Karate. Their masters there, but I've never trained there. Yeah. So this is for the costume. This is not meant to be like, oh, he's martial arts guy, totally get into a fight. No, this is just a part of costume. It is an official belt though. That's the official. This is a 5th Dan master. Jung Swan, that would be a 5th Dan master, but I think at the right here, it's thick as, look at this, thick. It's like double layer. This thing is thick. Wow. You can switch it to black, or switch it like this. It's a karate belt. Makes me higher than Ralph Macchio from Karate Kid. Okay, so here we have this one here, put this on the chair, and take this off. Yeah. I'm wearing shorts. Yes. Oh, look at that. There. And now, this actually goes with this top from the Kitty Key show. It's this top, and this belt is actually like let's see. Sorry, yeah. It's a little small. I should have got the next size up. There we are. Cool. There we go. There it is. Yes, I now have Ronan belt, and it's actually a little small. Oh, so I'm a 6 in this belt, but I've got a 5. No, this is yeah. I had to lose some weight, I guess. But yeah, well, I guess they don't want you to flap it in people's faces and stuff. The other one. I might even be a 7 in this kind of belt because it's thicker. So yeah. Anyway, so yes, it's just awesome to have a new martial art belt. To take it off. It is actually a little small on me, but it's cool that I have it. And you can switch it around, and it's real super thick. Yeah, I need a. Maybe you're supposed to only wrap it around once. Maybe this is a wrap. This wrap's different. Yeah, maybe it's just a one wrap. I'll try that. Yeah, maybe they don't want you to do it once. You like that. I'm sure that is totally wrong, but yeah, you could. Yeah, you can just tie it once. One tie. It's just long. It's really super long. Yeah, so if you tie it once, then it's works. Belt flaps. Never did. Anyway, so size 5. The Ronin Master must go back through my Amazon collection and get me a size 6 or 7. I know I'm not fatter. That's not. You see my pasty legs. I'm wearing shorts. I'm not in my underwear. Yeah. Anyway, so anyway, this has been the belt of the Ronin belt.